So you're thinking about making a move to Auburn, Washington, but you've got some questions? Well, you're not alone. Chris and I have been making some content on Auburn here recently, and we got a ton of reach outs, a lot of DMs, and a lot of questions. So if you're wanting those frequently answered questions answered today, then you're going to stick around, because in this video, I'm going to answer the 5 top questions that we have received about moving to Auburn, Washington, and we're getting after it right now. Hey, Chris, myself, and our team, we're getting phone calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to making your move out here to Auburn in the next 3 days or 3 months, shoot us a phone call, text, or an email so that we can help you make that smooth move out here to Auburn. And if you want to be right in the know about what's going on in our local market, hit that subscribe button so you can be the first one to know what's going on here in Auburn. All right, we stopped by P&W Coffee right here in downtown Auburn. Grabbed today an iced caramel macchiato, because what would a video in Washington be without coffee, right? So we're gonna start off, we're gonna go over these 5 questions. So the number one question that I get about Auburn, which isn't too much of a surprise because most of you watching this are from out of the area, is how far away is Auburn from Seattle and other major cities? I think this is a really great question, because a lot of people are coming from places where the major hub is the major hub and there's not a lot around it. So let's go ahead and just pull up the Google map real quick and figure out where Auburn's at. Looking here at Auburn, you can see that Seattle is roughly 28 miles to the north of Seattle. The airport, SeaTac, Seattle Tacoma International Airport, is about 12 miles away from Auburn, and Tacoma is going to be about 14 miles away from Auburn. So really, both of the major metros in the greater Seattle-Tacoma area are less than 30 miles away, and the airport is only 12 miles away. Now, of course, again, like I've said in 1,000 videos, miles, not minutes, right? I would estimate that if you're going to be traveling from Auburn to Seattle or Tacoma, give yourself around 30 to 45 minutes just to play it safe, and at least 25 to 30 to the airport. I know 10, 12, 15 miles sounds really sweet, but there is a lot of traffic. The one caveat to that, the best thing about Auburn, is right over here to my left is the Sounder Station. If you jump on the rail right here in Auburn, you are literally 4 stops away from Seattle going north, and you're 4 stops away from Tacoma going south. So that makes your trip about 20 miles into either major metro area. Now, Auburn, just like most of the suburbs of Seattle and Tacoma, have basically everything that you need to live in, to work in, to play in. You don't necessarily have to go to either major metro to have a good time, to shop, to eat out. There are tons of great restaurants here. There's a lot of things to do here. But if you want to get to the city, you can get to either one really, really fast. And I think that's a major plus for Auburn. So if you're wanting to work in Seattle, I would say give yourself 20 minutes by train and 40 minutes for a drive, and exactly the same for Seattle. I would probably leave about 2 hours early for my flight going to SeaTac, but again, it's only going to be about a 20-minute drive. So Auburn is an amazing centralized location. The second question I've been getting asked so much lately is, why has there been such a huge influx of people into Auburn? What's driving people here? I get asked that a lot. Now, obviously, people move for their own reasons, jobs, families, relocating, just like you're probably looking to do. But that is one thing that I saw heavily in the last year, was just that folks could not afford to live up north in northern King County. So pushing south was the best option. It's giving people more home for their money, a better community, a smaller, more tight-knit vibe, still with a lot of amenities, super close. great parks, great schools. Honestly, as we're sitting here talking about it, I completely see why people are pouring out of the city heading down to Auburn. And I've got to tell you, last year, Auburn was one of my biggest places to do business. And I could only speculate for everybody's motivation. But what I can tell you is one thing. That one thing is that people were shopping in Seattle. People were still looking to live in Seattle. But when the mortgage rates changed and everything went from 2 or 3% and it went to 7%, all of a sudden, those $1 million homes became so unobtainable for so many people. Now, if we look here at the MLS, you can see right here that Seattle's average home price is closer to $1 million. Now, this is for the average home price. And Auburn's is closer to $550. So you get about a 45% discount when you buy something in Auburn versus Seattle. Just based off that alone, so many folks who are looking at shopping up north were driven south. Why did they not go north? Well, a lot of people didn't go north because it's still super expensive up in Lake Stevens, Everett. Plus, you know, being right here in Auburn, you're actually not super far away from Seattle still. You get a 45% discount on your house, but if you jump on the rail, you can be in Seattle in 20 minutes. It's only 4 stops. So 45% off of the house in a good community with great schools, which is our next question. And I got to take a 20-minute train ride or a 40-minute drive. I can totally see why people have been pouring out of the city and coming down here. One question we get asked a ton is, how good are the schools here in Auburn? Now, that is a question that I think every parent has when they're looking at moving their family. This right here is Thomas Jefferson High School, home of the Raiders. It's one of the newer schools here in Auburn, and we are in the Lakeland North area. Now, the schools in Auburn are actually really great compared to especially many of the surrounding areas. If you hop on niche.com, and of course, I do not think that niche.com is the be-all, end-all of school ratings. I still think it's super important for you to reach out to us so that we can help you determine what school is going to be the right one for you and your family. That way you don't end up moving to the wrong area with a school that doesn't have the benefits that your kids actually need. That said, Auburn schools are a B+ on niche.com. One of the things that I experienced where I came from in the Midwest was that class sizes were wild. It was like 35 kids to one teacher. Well, in the overall Auburn school district, that's not something that you're going to experience. The average class ratio is 19-1. So I really feel like kids get a lot more time one-on-one with the teacher. These teachers aren't as overwhelmed as so many that you would see, you know, just kind of across the board. Some areas that Auburn really stands out is not only in their academics, but their clubs and activities are an A+ on niche.com, with so many things for kids to do after school, so many things to be plugged into. Notice that kids out here really stay out of trouble because they are so involved and always have something going on. The school also ranks as an A+ when it comes to diversity. This area has a broad range of types of people from different cultures who are into different things. And I think that really makes it a nice melting pot of a school system. Now, do you want to hear some crazy statistics about Auburn? Auburn actually ranks as the 97th best school in the United States. There are like 11,000 school districts, and Auburn ranks 97 when it comes to sports. So if your kids are into sports, this is absolutely a place you got to check out. Now here you're thinking, okay, so is it just a great school for sports? No. Again, about 11,000 school districts in the United States, Auburn ranks 136th out of the entire nation for academics. So while I try not to personalize what people want for their kids in schools, this is a question I get a lot. And frankly, out of the greater Seattle Tacoma area, I really do think that Auburn has a lot of opportunity for children that so many other areas don't. The next question that's came up the most is, what are the best neighborhoods to live in if I move to Auburn? Well, funny as it is, that question's came in a lot, so much so that Chris and I actually made a video called Top 5 Neighborhoods to Live in Auburn. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put that up here, and I'll add a card for you so that you can click on that and check out that video. And in that video, we cover a few places, and we're right now in my favorite neighborhood of Auburn. This is Lakeland Hills. This neighborhood reminds me a lot of my neighborhood, Tahale. But a big advantage that Lakeland Hills has that Tahale doesn't is that Lakeland has everything you need right here. Just over here, you have your Walgreens, your Hagen's. Actually, Hagen's is where I shop. So I drive all the way around to get to Hagen's, especially when it comes to getting donuts on Saturday morning. Guys, those things are fire. They also have some of the best meat and seafood around. There is a lot of parks around here. You're always gonna see people out walking, kind of enjoying the evening. Sunset Park is great. It's got the skate park over there, the basketball hoops. And it's really close to the legendary donuts. It's really close to Hops and Drops. This neighborhood just has everything right here, which makes it, in my opinion, it is the top neighborhood that you're gonna find. I mean, these homes are beautiful, right? I mean, look at these things. They're stunning properties. I love them. All are pretty well new. The landscaping is pristine. Some really cool colors. Like, I like the color pattern on this one a lot. I think that's a really nice touch. But a couple other neighborhoods that we looked at downtown Auburn. And I think downtown is a really good place to look if you really want to be close to everything. If you're gonna be that guy that's gonna jump on the commuter train and head to Seattle, get a house close to downtown. Not only that, but it's considerably less expensive. So you can get a cute older house with some Northwest character, you know, for $300,000 to $500,000. Whereas, you know, this stuff is all going to cost you $750,000 to $1 million too, hands down. So downtown is going to be a really good option for you as well. Another one that we showed in that video that has resonated with a lot of people was Kendall Ridge. Kendall Ridge is a really cool community that's over in the Lee Hill area. So you're looking more to the east side of Auburn. You're over there by the Green River Community College. So you're a little bit more out of the way, but you have stunning views over there. You can see the Cascades, beautiful, really pretty over there. And those homes are built by Mainview. And I can tell you, Mainview builds homes in my neighborhood as well. And they do a really good job. So those properties are really nice. They're all current models. I'd say less than probably 10 years old, any of them. And it's just tucked away off of town. So you get that nice little, hey, I'm out of the way feel, but I'm really close to everything. As far as the, you know, what are the best, I would really say, check out that video that we posted. It's gonna have, like I said, 5 of the top neighborhoods, but really guys, this is why you need to reach out to us. I say it all the time, you know, we know these neighborhoods in these cities like a toddler knows how to use an iPad. Like, it's like all we do, it's all we know, right? Give a 5-year-old, ask him to tie a shoe, he can't do it, but damn it, he can download some stuff off Netflix. So hope that helps. All right, the last question that we're getting asked the most is, what is the weather like in Auburn, Washington? Well, it's kind of the same in all these suburbs and all these areas, but if you're not watching all those other videos, this is your first one, then it might be a little different for you. So here's the thing. Everybody always hops on TV. They see videos of Seattle and Tacoma, and they think it rains 24/7. And they're right. No, I'm just kidding. Right now, it's about 6 o'clock at night in an August evening, and it's 68 degrees. It is stunning and beautiful. We are in front of Auburn's City Hall right now. Downtown is quiet and peaceful. There's people out at restaurants just enjoying themselves. The summers here are ridiculous. They're going to be somewhere between 65 and 80 most days. Your winters, you're going to wake up, it's going to be 52 to 55. Typically, when I get up at 4 to head to the gym, I throw on shorts and a hoodie. By the time I leave, it's in that 60s range, and I don't need it anymore. I've seen rain one time here in Auburn in probably the last 90 days. So once you really get out of that wintry season, you're just not gonna see the rain. Most people right now actually have their sprinklers on, trying to keep their grass from dying because there has been zero rain. And that's been the last 3 years pretty consistently. Now, wintertime, that's gonna be a slightly different story. You're probably gonna be somewhere between 25 and 30 overnight, and then during the days, somewhere between 38 and 45. So pretty much throw a hoodie on any time of the year, you're pretty well set. The area is gonna get about 1.5 inches of snow. Typically that's 1 to 2 days. We shut down school, we think the world's falling apart. School's canceled, work's canceled. Now, if you're coming from the Midwest, so that, you think it automatically, hey, I'm from North Dakota, I can drive in the ice and the snow. Well, don't be fooled. I thought the same thing when I moved here, but there are so many hills because of all the mountainous terrain that you might get cocky because you've been driving on flat Midwestern roads for a long time, and you might slide out. You might just slide out. A friend of mine was driving her boyfriend's Charger, accidentally turned off traction control because she was so comfortable because she came from a Midwestern state. She ended up spinning it off the off-ramp and totaling the Hellcat. Terrible. Now, as far as the doom and gloom, you have the June gloom. In June, it's gonna rain quite a bit. You also have that gray season that's like December to February where it's wet. It doesn't rain like it does in Texas. It doesn't rain like it does in Missouri. It's like a eerie little sprinkle. The majority of the issue that people run into is just the gray. There's just kind of a lack of sunlight. I notice for myself at this time, I'm taking vitamin D on a regular basis. If there's a sunny day, I'm out as much as I can. And I really just do my best to be in a happy place. Some people suffer really bad from seasonal depression out here. So if that is something that you deal with, you want to make sure you're taking that into account. I say this over and over again, make sure you talk to your doctor if you ever start feeling depressed or feeling down. Our shortest day is about 8 hours of sunlight. That is one day, it's usually in December, during a period of what we call the big dark. That's kind of where it's dark day and night, like you have a 5 or 6 hour block where it's sunny and then it's gone. That area is kind of like your Thanksgiving to February. But then you're pretty much like this. Like, this is beautiful. Like, my friends right now in the Midwest have 109-degree weather. It is 70. I absolutely love it. And so is the trade-off worth it? Is it worth having the rain and the dreary in exchange for the spring and the summers here? Yes, but don't. All right, well, there you have it. Those are our top 5 most commonly asked questions that people are sending us about moving to Auburn, Washington. Hopefully that added some clarity as to whether or not Auburn, Washington is a viable option for you and your family. Remember, Chris, myself, and our team, we're getting phone calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move out here to Auburn. So whether you're looking at making that move in 3 days or 3 months, shoot us a phone call, text message, or an email so we can help you make that smooth move to Auburn. And until next time, I cannot wait till you're out here so we can show you around.